Well, good morning, my dear learners. We've been journeying through the uses of do, does, did. We have done almost 3 chapters, 2 chapters. Now we have come to 3rd chapter. Is it right? Well, now let's learn today the idiomatic uses of do. Then comes the question, what is idiomatic? Idiomatic is nothing but special use of any words. What is idiom then? Idiom is just a group of words with a particular grammar, particular set of words used a particular people, say a nation. Sometimes it can be dialectical also. It can be confined to districts. It can be confined to states. It can be confined to nation and different nations also. A group of words with a particular grammar and structure. The ordinary meaning is not to be taken. The idioms, the words in an idiom are not to be taken superficial meaning. It is not ordinary meaning. You have to take a different meaning. Otherwise, a group of words in an idiom shows or gives a different meaning other than what appeals to many. That's called idiom. What are idiomatic expressions then? Idiomatic expressions are containing idioms. That's all. A phrase of words. Let me give an example of what is an idiom and idiomatic expressions. Sometimes when you talk about writing poetry, suppose someone, your friend who is good at poetry, he reads lots of poetry and he writes poetry. He can speak on poetry also. Whenever you ask him to talk about poetry and give the qualities and the traits of what is good poetry and what is not poetry, perhaps, what is poetry and what is not poetry, he could half-handedly, without any preparation at all, becomes extempore. In order to explain his state, you can say, well, speaking about poetry is a child's play for him. Sometimes when you talk about the capitals, the investments that 2 or 3 partners made. For example, A, B and C are partners in a company. A has invested 1 crore and B has invested 60 lakhs and C has invested just some 30 lakhs. Of A, B and C, who has invested more? A, with 1 crore rupees. When you want to talk about that thing or his share, you can say A has a lion's share in the business, we can call it. Lion is the king of the forest, Lion hunts, eats and leaves the corpses, the dead bodies of the animals. After lion has left that place, leaving the certain pieces of leavings of the corpse, the dead body, some animals come and eat. So the lion's share means major share, majority. Right? My wife takes a lion's share in managing the house. That means your share is not that much, perhaps because of many reasons. And one more thing, let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. All these words become an idiom. If you want to get the meaning in an ordinary way, saying that there is a cat in the bag and we are just unzipping and you are taking the cat out. It's not. Yeah, you're mistaken. Let the cat out of the let the cat out of the bag means what? Tell a secret unknowingly, unconsciously, unintentionally, perhaps you become tell a secret by mistake, and you don't want to tell it, and by all of a sudden it has come from your mouth and a secret. One more difficult idiom I tell you: break the ice. We call it. Break the ice. Break the ice means what? You must have seen ice blocks. In karate fighters break the ice with their ice blocks with their hands. No, it's not that. You must have seen at the ice factories, at certain places, people breaking the ice blocks into small blocks. The actual, it is called an idiom. It's not breaking the ice. Its ordinary meaning is that, but the idiomatic meaning is that, let us imagine that two friends have misunderstanding. They got separated. And after a long time, they happen to meet at a party. And both are very close by. Each of them, Vikram and Pratap, Vikram wants to talk to Pratap, and Pratap also wants to talk to Vikram. But neither of them begins the conversation. They don't know how to begin the conversation. They don't know how to start the conversation, they do not know. It becomes a clumsy and awkward, embarrassing situation. At last, if you say, Pratap comes forward, Pratap opens the conversation. At the time you can say, Pratap has broken the ice. The silence between them is compared to the ice block. So slowly, Pratap has started speaking. Once Pratap has started speaking, pouring the feelings from his heart very naturally, and Vikram also starts pouring it. So the silence between them, which is compared to a ice block, is slowly melting. There is no ice block between them. Misunderstandings have gone, prejudices have gone, and now there is no enmity between them. There is again friendship between them. It's called breaking the ice. That is the meaning of this idiom, my dear friends. Now, do has many idiomatic expressions. Let's learn some of them. Okay. When you want to talk about the hairstyles and dress, we can use do as an idiom. How? Suppose you go to a hairdresser, beauticians we can call them, and not only women, but men also have become fashion conscious nowadays. Suppose you have gone to a hairdresser or beautician for that sake. You want to have your hair cut in a particular way. At the time, your barber, the hairstylist, perhaps might say, no sir, no Manoj sir, that style won't do for you. That style won't do for you. Won't be suitable for you. Suppose you have gone to a tailor. You want to make tailor-made dresses. You have gone, and you want your shirt particularly to be stitched in a particular way. You bring out a paper, an advertisement, and you want your tailor to stitch that particular dress in that particular model, and your tailor perhaps has been very close to you, has been your tailor for a long time, who knows the exact measurements of your body, dimensions, all that. Perhaps he visualizes and says, no sir, this shirt, this model doesn't suit you. Instead of you can say, this style or this model doesn't do for you or won't do for you. Am I clear? Doesn't fit to you, you can say. Am I clear? Next. Sometimes we can talk about nothing doing. Nothing doing. Do is here used as a idiom. When you want to refuse something, someone, some offer or somebody's request, you can say nothing doing. For example, your friend asks you, Chandra, can you lend me some 10,000 rupees? Nothing doing. No, I won't give you. Not at all possible, or you don't like to give. Refusal. A flat refusal can be expressed, nothing doing this word. How it would be? Is it not excellent? Next, do up. Do up means fasten. For example, your shirt has buttons, I am just unbuttoning. Try to understand the context. Unbuttoning like this, Suppose put the buttons is not the right way of expression. Here you can use idiomatic expressions. Suppose what I am doing, I am doing my buttons. For this, generally we say, I am putting my buttons. The putting my buttons or keeping my buttons doesn't convey this, fasten up. Suppose a boy has worn a shirt is getting ready to go to school, and his mother asks him, get ready, come on, do the buttons up. Means put the buttons, but he should not say. Am I clear? Similarly, some people, especially the youth, they don't do up the top buttons, They leave one or two. You can say at that time, he never does his top buttons. Means he never fastens up. Am I clear? Similarly, do your laces. Do your laces means fasten your laces, Right. Do your buttons. Do your laces. You can say no. Suppose you have gone to your doctor with some chest complaint, something like that. The doctor wants you test your, examine your chest also. At the time he asks you, please undo the buttons. Unfastening. Do means fasten. Undo means unfasten. Means undo the buttons, That means you have to unfasten the buttons. The doctor examines and asks you at last, come on, do your buttons up and come to my room. Wonderful expression. Your buttons are not done or your buttons are undone. Means you have not done your buttons up. Right? So remember, do and undo we can use wonderfully. Do. Okay. Do means fasten up, I told you. Undo. Unfasten. Opposite of it. Do your buttons, undo your buttons. Fast up your buttons, unfasten your buttons. Buttons of buttons, jacket. People wear jacket on the top, overcoat. They don't do the buttons up. Okay. And one more use which is commonly used is do in the sense of comb, C-O-M-B, comb. For example, Manoj is asking his aunt Ramalakshmi, Ataya, where is, or otherwise rather, you can say aunt, where is Rajita, what is she doing? Well, Rajita is doing her hair, means combing her hair. Your hair is disorderly, no. Means uncombed. You go and do your hair. Suppose I ask you, what am I asking you? I'm asking you to comb your hair otherwise. Am I clear? One more example. In the sense of cook, be it well done or overdone. Suppose Ramalakshmi has served a particular curry, particular dish to Chandra, and Ramalakshmi is asking, how is curry? She wants to know how Chandra feels the taste of it. He can say, it's well done. Well done, do, did, done. Like that, do can be used as a third form also. Well done. Means what? The curry is well cooked. It has all the ingredients in their right proportion. Means when all the ingredients are in the right proportion, naturally what happens? It tastes good. The curry is good. It means finally. Right. And do without. To manage without. Do without means to manage without. Do without. Manage without. People won't and can't lead their life without that. Right? Most of us nowadays, almost everyone, right from the small boy, say 6 months or 1 year old boy, to the 99 years old man, great old man, and 100 plus also. They use mobiles, At this, using this situation, you can say, do like this, Most of us can't do without mobiles. Means almost all people, everyone uses mobiles. That's the meaning of it, Right? These are the general idiomatic uses of do. It must have many more also. I want all of you to have a dictionary. Do you have any dictionary with you? Don't say I refer them in the dictionary. I refer them in the phone. All dictionaries and many dictionaries I have on my mobiles or on my laptop. I have downloaded and they are on my. Okay, I don't deny your technical knowledge and your economy, but I don't want that. Try to possess, try to buy a good dictionary. Generally, the best one would be always Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary or Cambridge University's dictionary. Dictionaries with the user. If you have a dictionary, you go through do and does. Wonderful idiomatic expressions you can find, many more than what I have been able to teach in this short unit, right? And last, with this, I would like to conclude and go for the next chapter.